Yeah, I shouldn't even. I don't even know why I uploaded this. All right.
Hey! We're recording the podcast! Shut up!
Good morning to you, wherever you are, because it is
Morning Somewhere!
for October 30th, 2024. My name is Bernie Burns, sitting right over there. She didn't interfere at all with last night's game. It's Ashley Burns. Say hi to Ashley, everybody.
I know who interfered with last night's game, Bernie. It was you.
Burgle.
Oh, sweet kid.
You were
It was you.
shit, and I played your beautiful young child.
No, I can get right back to this shit. You have become an agent of chaos.
Oh, please. I had nothing to do with it. That's all bullshit.
Had nothing to do with jinxing your team yesterday.
Well, I don't even know what the final score was. There was a grand slam by the Yankees last night. They beat the Dodgers, so now the series is 3-1.
I can tell you, it was 11-4 in favor of the Yankees.
What's that?
11-4 in favor of the Yankees.
Yeah, and it was like 6-4 going into the top of the ninth. So it was just like they just demolished them, basically, or the bottom of the eighth or something like that. I forget what it was. But
All right, so the World Series continues for another
clearly,
day.
the Dodgers want to win at home, right? Who wants to win in fucking New York? Who wants to be there? when
Well,
you're
so
celebrating?
how does that work? I mean,
Fucking fans would probably steal the trophy.
they don't go back like one day and then the next day and then the next day. That's too much. That's too much coastal change for each game. So how do they do that?
So the Dodgers have to lose one more game to then go back to LA to play in game 6 to win at home. 2 games in LA, 3 games in New York, then the final 2 games in LA because Dodgers had more wins because clearly they're the superior team. Congratulations to Yankees
For drawing it out.
avoiding the complete
One more day.
embarrassment of losing 4-0. So did you hear about this? Mookie Betts was making a catch, and it was near the wall, and there was a call of fan interference, which is an automatic out for the batter if it's the home team. And that, I don't know, I guess it would have to be the home team to be fan interference, I guess. But it's an automatic out for the batter, so it doesn't help your team anyway. And then in egregious cases, it is an ejection and a ban from the stadium. Or if you're a Chicago Cubs fan, you are just humiliated for life. Did you ever see the guy, Steve Bartman? Do you remember him?
No. What's this one?
Gosh, it was years ago, and he interfered with a ball at the home stadium. Unintentionally did so. And then the Cubs had this kind of weird collapse after that happened. And this dude, Steve Barton, I remember his name after all this time. And yeah, he was just shamed everywhere. And it was everyone recognized now.
Is he in like witness protection now?
He might have like looked into some kind of going underground, going into hiding. And everyone recognizes now though, like through the lens of time, he was not treated fairly at all. At all.
Well, yeah, I mean that happens a lot. But
What, you mean the general public attacked somebody or something, and then when the consequences came, they were like, who, us? That wasn't us. We didn't do that. Yeah, I guess.
So you're saying, I'm assuming based on this story that there was some fan interference.
Here's the video. Let me show you the video
Okay.
right now. I've sent it to you here. So you watch that video.
All right, I'm pulling this up.
You tell us if this call was a legitimate fan interference or not.
All right, pushing play on the video and the pitch. He hits the ball and goes run, 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 run. Oh my God.
They straight up mug him.
Oh my God. They practically pulled that guy into the stands by his arm.
By his wrist, very specifically by his wrist.
Oh my God.
So one of the dudes in the stand is grabbing Mookie Betts by his catching hand, on the gloved hand, holding him by the wrist. Then when Mookie Betts attempts to free himself, another fan grabs his other hand.
In slow-mo. This guy oh my God, this guy grabs him by the glove and is ripping this glove open. Wow. Oh, and then the ball bounces back into the field. Holy shit. You can see fans around them going, oh my God, what is happening right now?
Listen, these kind of things
They're watching history
happen.
in the making.
I just want to say that the University of Texas students were given a lot of grief for throwing a few water bottles, just like a couple thousand water bottles on the field. They were just, honestly, if you look at it really now, once again, through the lens of time.
They're just hydrating the team. They were watering the grass. God knows they need it in Texas.
They're aggressively recycling is what they're doing. At the worst, that's the worst you could look at it now. But these guys are clearly, they should be in jail. That is, though, those are expensive
So
tickets, and they are like, they're going to catch a ban for life.
Yeah, I mean, those are ringside.
And there was a lot of speculation as to what could happen to these guys. How do you ban someone from a stadium for life? They could just, buy a ticket outside the stadium and just walk in. And someone pointed out, no, it's in case they do something else and it turns out they've got a lifetime ban. Then they can hit them with like criminal stuff like trespassing or something. Honestly, if they had hurt his wrist, which is, I mean, that's a point of your body that's easy to hurt. He could have gotten a subluxation or something like that. He could.
I hear those are going around. Is it contagious?
Imagine getting sued for a professional athlete for loss of wages.
Oh my God.
That'd be a heavy lawsuit.
Well, yeah. What do you think that wrist is insured for?
Who the hell knows, dude? Who the hell knows? But the real story, you don't want it to overshadow the real story of the night, which is Freddie Freeman hit his 4th game in a row where he hit a home run. He's the guy who hit the walk-off grand slam.
This is the Yankees guy.
But going back to their previous World Series appearances now, he has hit a home run in 6 straight World Series games. That is incredible. That's incredible.
Dude likes to keep a tradition.
The Dodgers are clearly just giving him a chance to pad his record.
Clearly, that's what's happening. Well, I've been not paying as close attention to baseball as you have. I've been paying attention to something else, and that is Dragon Age Veilguard is about to come out. So it comes out tomorrow. Reviews have come out for it. I've been keeping an eye on it because Dragon Age is one of those franchises that I always want to get into, right? It's like Mass Effect, but with like fantasy stuff.
I feel you.
It's fully my shit, right? And I tried with Inquisitor, and I think Bernie, I played it wrong. Okay, I think I pulled more like a Skyrim, right, than a Mass Effect, where I would go into an area and I wouldn't leave that area until I cleared that whole area out. As a result,
what's the problem with that? That's why you do that,
right? But very early on in the game, I kind of got bored and then stopped playing the game. And then never came back to it. So I didn't get to that hook. I never got past, Bernie, Novaria, right? I never got past that. The Mass Effect Novaria point where suddenly you go, I like this game.
Didn't get over that hump.
Right. So I never did that with Inquisition. I've been keeping an eye on Veilguard because the reviews so far, there's been a couple outliers, but for the most part, they're all very, very positive, saying that this is really a fantastic game. So I went on social media yesterday to ask the question, can I play this without really having got into the other Dragon Age games? And the answer so far is yes, asterisk. You'll probably want to play Inquisition.
Yes,
you don't have
can
to
play it
but
without
you'll
knowing the
definitely
lore. Why not, if I may make a suggestion, Ashley, why don't you just read the Wikipedia entry for Dragon Age Inquisition?
Not the same.
That'll take you 10 minutes.
I'm toying with the idea of watching one of those YouTube recap videos, like here's the brief summary of everything that happened in Dragon Age Inquisition, just so that I can be up on it more or less.
Let me also say this. Had you played Dragon Age Inquisition to completion, and no fans interfered with you doing that, What? How long ago would that have been? 10 years? 8 years?
Let me look up when that came out.
Would you even remember what the hell happened in that game?
Now that you bring that up, I would probably have like that sort of the same thing I do with reading a book, where I'd have that sort of sketchy memory. Like I have a vague idea because this game came out. Nope. It came out in November 2014.
November of 2014.
So it's been
exactly
just about
10 years.
Just about 10 years since Dragon Age Inquisition came out.
Exactly 10 years. This is the 10th anniversary of this game. You would not remember what you've done. You would need the previously on Dragon Age.
Well, that depends. I remember a lot of very specific like Mass Effect choices. So it depends on how big those choices are. Apparently, in this one, you can sort of go in and select decisions that you might have made in Inquisition, but they're much more simplified down.
Oh, it's one of those games.
It doesn't have like a full carry on, but it can carry a couple of decisions through. So I'm thinking what I might do, I'm gonna just run this past you, is play Veilguard because it comes out tomorrow, and I'm a little bit impatient, and then maybe go back to Inquisition if I like Veilguard enough.
Then you're playing like a prequel. Right? Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Speaking of ages. It's a great name, by the way. Dragon Age is a great name for a game.
I like that. But speaking of ages, Bernie, a game that you like is coming out with, they've just released some new content. This is Factorio.
What?
Yeah, they just released a Space Age. So you got your Dragon Age, you got your Space Age. We can play ages at the same time but different.
Yeah. Just if people have never played it before, Factorio is a game where you just basically automate different processes to get off of a planet. It's
Far
essentially
more compelling than you think that
really
sounds.
at the end of the day, it's like, am I playing a video game or am I just like expressing OCD at the highest possible level? It is incredibly addictive. Once you get over that little hump that you were just talking about, you get past that hump. I want to say for television stuff too, I finally got over the hump of a show that you and I were like, we were trying to watch, and I finally just did that thing that sometimes you do now where you're like, I have a commitment to this TV show and I have to finish it. I have to give it 8 episodes. I don't know where that comes from, but I hear people talk about it all the time, and I certainly do that myself, and I did it with Silo. I finished the first season of Silo, which I didn't know this. There's books. There's a whole series of books about Silo. That's where it comes from.
I also heard that they have started filming season 3 of Silo. They're hoping to film, I want to say what I heard was season 3 and 4 back to back. They're not renewed officially yet, but they're filming season 3 back to back to end the series. But they've already started filming 3 without the green light. But season 2 is coming out.
It's my Dragon Age Inquisition, essentially, because I watched it on a plane, powered through it. It went exactly where I thought it was going to go. Like, it was weird. I just, like, it played out exactly like I expected it to play out. I've learned now that it was the first season of the show was the first half of the first book. Interesting choice. But I get why they stopped it where they stopped it. So I'm looking more forward to season 2 than I am how much I enjoyed season 1. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Yeah,
Yes,
so.
Silo it's a great show, but it is a little bit of a slow burn.
And it won't matter because by the time season 2 comes out, I'll be 2,500 hours into Factorio's space age, apparently, at that point.
So what they added is they've added, first of all, 4 new planets.
Get the fuck out of here.
They've
The whole first game was one planet.
They've added like space like platforms to move between planets, like these like space factories on like space platforms, and they've added like new quality stuff and new enemies and all kinds of stuff. So it seems very much your jam. The player count
I don't
for
get
it
the space
has
age
skyrocketed.
part of it, though, because the game is already space age. You crash
Maybe it's now
a
that
spaceship.
Yes, but now you are also going back into space, so you can go across these different planets that'll have different environmental conditions and all that sort of stuff. So the player count is quintupled.
Yeah, all I can say is if you're going to pick up Factorio for the first time, it can be tough to figure out at first. Give it a shot. Just, give it like 40 to 50 hours and you'll really start to like it.
Then you'll get over the hump and you'll be like, I get it now.
Then you'll blink and you'll be retiring and still playing the game. It's a great game. Great game. All right, what else is going on in the world, Ash?
Did
you read that
speaking
Chase
of consequences?
Yeah.
So Chase is now suing people who took part in they called it like life hacks or like financial hacks. It was like a TikTok video trend where people would basically they would deposit a check, right, or like a bad check into their account via an ATM. Their bank account would go positive. They would withdraw money, and then once the bank account or once that check bounced, then it would take them into the negative. But they were like, "But look, I got free money."
Right? The TikTok trend was called the infinite money glitch.
Yeah, you guys, it's not.
Good Lord.
Just so you know. That is a
check
crime.
Fraud. Yeah.
And so Chase is now suing the people who took part in that infinite money glitch.
So dumb.
Which is not remotely, by the way, a surprise, as we did note that is a crime.
I was reading about one of the cases where the guy went and he withdrew hundreds of thousands of dollars using this scam. And he wore a mask while he used the ATM. It's like, dude, it's your account.
They'll never know it was him.
It's your account. You're on camera. There's a camera that faces you when you use an ATM. And somebody had to, I'm sure they're going to say something like, oh, my card was stolen that day. It's like, yeah, it was stolen by someone who's your exact same size. And it happened to happen on the day when a bunch of fraudulent checks were deposited into your account.
Well,
is that what happened?
They all stole my size and my PIN number. And
bought me a Ferrari.
And my fingerprints. Yeah, it's you guys, that's not going to work. So, yes, Chase is now going after those people. So it is going to be quite, this is going to be kind of a mess.
Although I have to say, though, the infinite money glitch, when you hear it, it instantly raises alarm bells. However, I think these guys weren't thinking big enough. Russia seems to have cracked the infinite money glitch. They recently sued Google for $20 decillion dollars.
Yes. that specifically a Russian court is fining Google for
Oh, it'd be decillion.
for blocking their content. Yeah, I think it's decillion.
Decillion, is that how you say it? Decillion.
Yeah.
It's a word you never heard before.
Right. I had to go and look up the denominations of numbers to figure out how that is. That's, by the way, it's a number with 33 zeros behind it.
33 zeros.
Yeah, it starts to get, so you get, obviously you've got your millions, which is boring. You got your billions and your trillions, whatever. And then they kind of start to lose creativity because you get your quadrillions and your quintillions and your sextillions and so on. And so all the way down to the decillions. And so they have, they're fining Google $20 decillion.
Why 20?
Now,
who came out with the 20? Wouldn't 10 decillion?
1 decillion for each of their contents that they blocked. I'm not sure. But
it's right there. Why not just sue them for a Google dollars? It's right there. It's right there.
I can tell you that. Maybe they need a couple more fines to get there. Apparently, Google is the number with 100 zeros behind it.
Correct. I mean, why not?
So,
yeah, that would be an absurd number, Ashley, if they sued him for that amount.
Let's not get ridiculous here. By the way, to put this fine in perspective,
we keep saying sued. Yeah, it's fine. They fined him.
The global GDP is around $100 trillion.
I read those are great Reddit comments.
That's only 12 zeros. That's peanuts. This is chump change. Come on, what are we even doing here?
This Reddit comment was great. It said, Russia has figured out the actual infinite money hack where they have basically fined Google for an amount that is more than all of the things in the world combined. Then they can go and take a loan based on the collateral of that fine and buy everything in the world. Done. They won. Russia won, everybody. Pack it in.
Even when they take the company back, whatever. I got everything in the world.
Apparently, by the way...
they'll almost be able to afford NVIDIA.
What's going on in the world? Are we just like willfully stupid in public? Like, why would you put something like this out? It's just the dumbest fucking thing.
Ask a Yankees fan.
I don't even know what they're fining them for because the number is so stupid. The headline is so dumb. It buries its own lead in a way. They must have been fining them for something. And I don't even care what it is. Well,
so here's a quote from an article that we'll put in our link dump. But it says, Google was called by a Russian court to administrative liability under Art 13.41 of the Administrative Offenses Code for removing channels on the YouTube platform. The court ordered the company to restore the channels.
Oh, my God. So this is basically Russia's version of a YouTube boycott?
Right. The court imposed a fine of 100,000 rubles, which is $1,000 roughly, per day, with a total fine doubling every week owing to compound interest. Google is now on the hook for an insane amount of money.
Are they really? Are they really on the hook, or are they just not going to do business in Russia?
Bing, ding, 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 you got it.
$20 decillion.
That seems worth the investment, don't you think?
I guess the 20 must come from some conversion because they probably were fined in rubles. I doubt they would make a fine in U.S. dollars. So it's probably some astronomical, even higher amount of rubles.
Oh, that's the thing. It's a Google Rubles.
It is. It's probably a Google of rubles. But I actually think this announcement might be so ridiculous, it might be trying to bury another story, which is that the interest rates in Russia are skyrocketing right now. And even Putin had to address it.
It's because everyone's borrowing against Google.
Exactly. They're borrowing against this fine. I mean, if you put a number like that out there, you're just like basically like devaluing your own currency because like, you put this ridiculous, it's like a Nigerian dollar where they have like have you ever seen like the 5 billion Nigerian dollars? Like that's a note that you can get. Once you get to that level, it's just like, dude, start over with some other kind of currency.
Yeah, can you make a new one?
Yeah, just start over fresh. You don't need to go back and play Nigerian dollar Inquisition. You can just start with a new one right now.
Like, there you go. New currency, Veilguard, bam.
I would love if the Yankees find those two fans. They find them like just $1 decillion.
Just the one seems like enough. That's not overdoing it, right?
Hey, those jackasses didn't even get the ball. They didn't even get it.
It bounced right back onto the field.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's an out. And it was in foul territory, it looked like anyway. I don't know, I don't remember exactly what the play was because it was completely overshadowed by that horse jackery.
What a mess. I don't want to get more lost in the weeds than we have, Bernie. There is something, and this is a project from some people that we know that sounds absolutely incredible.
Oh my God, you're talking about the Zellner announcement?
Yes. So
Holy
the Zellner
shit.
brothers have announced the casting for their next film project, Alpha Gang. I'm going to read you the people that they have got for this film. Are you ready for this?
This list just gets like better and better.
Channing Tatum, Dave Bautista, Stephen Yeun, Zoe Kravitz, Léa Seydoux, Riley Coe, and Kate Blanchett.
Insane.
Holy shit.
Insane cast. That's incredible.
Any one of those names would have been an absolutely fantastic get, and they got all of them. And the premise, by the way, for this film sounds absolutely ridiculous. So you ready for this? It's called Alpha Gang. It centers on a group of alien invaders sent to conquer Earth, but they're disguised as humans in a 1950s leather-clad biker gang, and they succumb to the most toxic and contagious human condition of all, emotions.
When you said you were going to read the plot, and it's a ridiculous plot, it's a Zellner Brothers movie. I first met these guys in college. I met David. Nathan was worked with us at Rooster Teeth, but I met David in college because he had made a short about a toad that lived inside of a woman's head, and she was trying to get it out. That's the first thing, my first exposure to their work. And their most recent film, Sasquatch Sunset, you can now get on home video if you'd like. They actually put some of their shorts out. We'll put a link in the link dump. They put some of their shorts out that they had done over the years, including some of the ones that go way the hell back. And so you can get those on DVD now.
Yeah, and Sasquatch Sunset, for those who are unfamiliar, is their most recent project. It was a darling of the Sundance Film Festival, I think, and it had Riley Coe and Jesse Eisenberg in it. And it was about a family of Sasquatches.
And Nathan Zellner is in it as well.
Is he in it?
Yeah. They've done a few Sasquatch things over the years.
Well, remember they had there was that the After Sunset trilogy or like the Before Sunset, whatever. They're doing their Sasquatch trilogy, right? So there's
Midnight.
Sasquatch Sunset, Sasquatch Midnight, Sasquatch at Dawn.
Sasquatch Revolution.
Planet of the Sasquatch, War for the Planet of the Sasquatch, and so on and so forth.
Sasquatch, the treasure hunter. All of them. Then go back
You
to
heard
all
it
the
here
work.
first.
All the work.
But while we're talking about people we know, one other important thing, and that is...
While we're talking about supporting creators.
Mega 64 is doing a funding drive to stay afloat. They are doing their best to basically get a round of crowdfunding so they can continue to make amazing videos. I
think they got hit by those infinite money glitch guys.
Someone caught the ball and then got them kicked out of the stadium.
And then they got fined by Russia for like $10 octillion. So it's tough times. It's really tough times when that happens.
Yeah. So
beyond their control.
What's the first thing you remember seeing from Mega 64?
Gosh, I've seen so much stuff from Mega 64 over the years. I try to wipe a lot of it from my memory if I can. I'm probably the what are you buying? Like that thing.
I remember one of the very early things that they got well known for was basically doing these sort of these viral videos where they'd go in public and be kind of ridiculous, right? And then
what are you buying? It's a Resident Evil 4 like vendor. He goes around and like harasses everybody.
Right, and they did yeah. And they did a whole bunch of those. They did one with, was it Miyamoto, I think? Or
dude, they have always gotten the craziest people to cameo in their videos. It's insane. Like they had this long-running relationship with Reggie Fils-Aimé,
maybe that's who it was.
U.S. president of Nintendo. No, Miyamoto as well. Miyamoto.
Okay.
Also Kojima as well. Okay, everybody. Cliffy B, everybody.
Everyone loves Mega 64. So if you're a fan of Mega 64, please check that out if you are able to do so.
Yeah, go give one of their podcasts a listen. You know, they got a lot of content going on, so give a listen. See if it's your jam. If it is, see if it's something you want to support, you know?
And speaking of support, I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors for the day, Dan Fedinition, Derek, and Jack Z. Thank you all for sponsoring our show at patreon.com/morningsomewhere.
All right, well, that does it for us today, October 30th, 2024. We will be back to talk to you tomorrow, barring fan interference. We hope you'll be here as well.
Bye, everybody.
Fucking jackass people from fucking New York. What are you going to fucking do? Gonna steal a goddamn ball.